What it do, baby? It's your boy Baki back with another one. Just finished Sinners. Got back, saw it last night, and just been having it on my brain a little bit, and wanted to do a quick little review about it. We'll do a good, bad, ugly like we usually do, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of spoilers because I have a couple ideas and theories and stuff. Um, First off, good overall, great movie. Enjoyed it pretty much from beginning to end. Had great pacing. I was actually really invested into the movie in the first act of the movie, like incredibly to the point that I didn't even want the vampires to even show up. Like I didn't even care. It didn't even. It never needed to turn to a horror movie. That's how good it was, and that's kind of the everybody's kind of ripping on it, saying like it's just dawn of excuse me, dusk till dawn, kind of like movie. Two brothers going to a bar turns up vampires. Kind of same stuff in that sense. But to me, the difference is a lot of the first act of dawn, dusk till dawn, doesn't really get good until you add the family dynamic to it. Whereas, like, I was immediately interested in these two brothers that Michael B. Jordan was playing, Smoke and Stack. That they instantly reeled me in with this. Um, Sinners is essentially a. It's about two brothers who are twins who were in Chicago doing whatever they were doing in Chicago dirt wise, and then decided to take that dirty money back to Mississippi where they're originally from to try to open a juke joint, which is like a old school like blues dance place, right? And this is during the time of prohibition and everything else. So it's got a lot of beautiful moments to it. What I really love is the way that they blend the music together with a lot of the scenes, and how you know for better or for worse, there's a lot of scenes that very much paint the picture for you and give all the information to you. And whether or not you like that or don't like that, I kind of enjoy it sometimes, and I thought it was very surreal to see some of those moments. The pretty much the middle of the movie, when they get the actual juke joint going, when they get the juke joint going and it's actually flowing, is like the best part of the movie for me. And then it got even weirder and a little bit more surreal once the vampires were introduced. It just kept having layers and layers and layers to it, to that where you can feel it. This definitely can be a universe. Like there's so much content within Sinners itself that is just layered off. And what I loved is, like, for example, in the beginning of the movie when they have Smoke and Stack, and Stack's like rolling the cigarette and then Smoke smoking it, like Stack's looking at Smoke, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I would imagine Smoke's the older brother, by how many ever seconds or whatever. But Stack is like rolling the cigarette. He looks over at Smoke. Smoke never looks back when the cigarette's done being rolled. I don't even think Smoke looks back to grab the cigarette. He just knows that his brother's got his back in that way, that he's grabbing the cigarette. That's how, like, I love that opening shot because it just shows you the level of love that those two have for each other, to where I don't even got to look back to know when my brother's done rolling that cigarette. I know he's done rolling that cigarette. That's how much I roll with my brother. And then they even solidify that even further for people who don't get it in the next scene with the snake, right? The same thing happens with the snake. They work together to take that snake down, and it's just like, oh, these guys have synergy together. They really are like great twin brothers who really, really do more than get along. They are harmonized together. They are one. There is no, without one, the other one doesn't exist. He sees his brother every day. That's what you got to understand in those moments. And I loved how they showed that. There's so much. It's such a beautiful movie too. Like just out there. Oh my god. I could just go on and on about what I really loved about this movie. I think this movie, to me, is one of my favorite original IPs that we've seen in a long time, man. In a long time. I mean, I really, really, really enjoyed this, and I thought it had a lot going for it. Now, if we had to get to the bad, right? And then we'll do good, bad, ugly. Then we'll do like light taps on stuff, right? Some of the bad for me personally, I didn't really like the third act ending with the final fight and stuff. Wasn't really a fan of that. Although I get how symbolic it was a little too on the nose, and the fight itself was kind of whack. But I get it. I understand that the whole movie itself is a symbol more than anything else. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt with that kind of criticism that I'm throwing at it, because that's what was intended, was the symbolic representation of him being in the water, speaking the words of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things are happening at the end, and it's all symbolic. So I get it, but I personally just didn't like the choreography of really any of the last act, honestly. Like, the last act for me was kind of in the weaker department, to where like some of the choreography just didn't feel like, when the vampires got there, they never really felt menacing, if that makes sense. They never really felt like how I usually envision vampires are. They actually felt kind of silly a little bit. And I get it to a certain degree. Again, the symbolicness of it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, sometimes that was kind of rubbing me the wrong way. It was the way that the vampires were kind of acting wasn't really, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was almost, it seemed like it not, I know that it wasn't hive mind, but it seemed like they didn't really have much thought process behind themselves, right? And you see that they do at the end of the movie, right, or whatever. But they show you that in the middle of the movie, which is another thing that isn't a bad, but it seemed like there was some stuff that was cut on the cutting room floor. And maybe one of you guys can answer me in the comments about this one. We're gonna get into spoilers here. So Smoke and his wife, or like the lady that was supposed to have his baby, they make that promise that if she's gonna get turned into a vampire, he needs to kill her before she turns, because she doesn't want to turn into a vampire, right? So Stack is already turned into a vampire, which was a dope scene when Stack is in the door. Man, like, I love all that shit. Okay, so Stack is on top of her and he's already biting her. Somebody shoots Stack. Stack falls off of the lady, right? Whatever happens, Smoke gets on top. She's like, do it, kill me. Smoke kills her, but like right when she's doing it, Stack walked up and was like, no, don't. Like, he's already a vampire, but he's going towards her saying, no, don't. And then Mary grabs Stack and is like, no, baby, it's too late. And they never really explained like what was with that plot thread, because later on, he even solidifies that by saying like, I had it all planned out and then you fucking ruined it. So I wonder what was actually going down in that scene. Where did he plan on like bringing her to the vampire life so she could have the ideas and thought process to know how to maybe escape this, or not escape it, but maybe just mentally break out of it? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe there was some other thing that we didn't see there. I could be missing something too. Like, you guys described me if I'm telling that scene wrong, but I'm almost 100% positive that's how I remember it. But yeah, so like, it sucks that it wasn't longer. Is really my bad. I wish it was longer. I really do. It feels like just when we're getting into knowing these characters, a new plot comes out of nowhere that really has to be introduced itself all over again, and then the movie's over. And another thing that I thought was kind of bad, actually, and it knocked my shit from a 9 to like an 8.5, is I don't like how the ending of the movie is in the middle of the fucking credits. I think that's so stupid. Just put the movie in the movie, bro, and make the credits some stupid shit. Like, you can't do that shit to people who have like babies and shit at home. People got babysitters and shit. Like, bro, we left because we thinking the movie's over or whatever. Like, nah, you gotta go watch some more shit. And it's like, dude, I'm thinking they're just gonna have the brother just playing the goddamn thing. Why have it like that as your outro? I just think that's a stupid way to have an outro. I don't like when movies do that shit. Just put the movie as the movie. Put a fucking montage of this man playing the goddamn uh guitar as the ending to the movie. Don't put it as credits. I didn't like that. I didn't like how they try to like bunch it together at the end there, because that post credit scene is very important. In fact, it's the ending of the fucking movie, and like without it, it feels so hollow. Because I've seen it now. I watched it just a few minutes ago. I just saw it, but like without that, the movie itself was actually feeling more hollow to me, and I was like, that's kind of whack. And homie's like, well, you gotta watch the thing. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't really like the post credit scene being tied to that. I thought that was kind of whack. And the ugly, there really is no ugly. There's no ugly here. There's just good and bad. I didn't have any ugly about this movie at all. I loved every aspect of it, and I still give it an 8.5, almost a 9. Like I said, now that I know that how the post credit scene worked, I think that was vital and very important. And it's kind of sad that we missed it. But besides that, I think it was a great movie from pretty much start to finish. Great pacing, great acting. Michael B. Jordan did a great job being twins. Every other actor did an amazing job. Ryan Coogler knocked it out the park. It was great directing. It was great framing. It was great pacing. It was entertaining. It was beautiful. It had me thinking about things afterwards. It's got a lot of metaphors to it, a little bit on the nose, which is why I still, I'm not gonna give it a 9. It's definitely 8.5. Like, it's a little on the nose with some things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Still a great movie, and I can't wait to see what Sinners has next going for it, because I would super be down to be a part of that world. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me on this one with Sinners, man. If I haven't pulled you in yet and you stayed to the end, if you would like to, subscribe to your boy if you're thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Love to have you around, and I'll see you guys on the next one.